In this video, I will be counting down my top 10 favorite wooden roller coasters I've been on. Now before I begin, I wanted to mention I haven't been on too many wooden coasters, so making a top 10 was pretty hard since the second half of my list wasn't the best. Also, this is my own opinion and some of you will disagree, but enough chit-chatting, let's start this countdown. Coming in at the number 10 spot is the Wild One at Six Flags America. This ride actually really jerked me around. In my on-ride POV, you can actually hear me say this is definitely a wild one, alright. It consists of many bunny hills which provide alright airtime and a helix at the end of the ride, but overall the coaster really didn't impress me. The little cave going next to Firebird was pretty cool though. Now, coming in at number 9 is the Great White at Maury's Piers in Wildwood, New Jersey. As soon as the coaster leaves the station, it drops underneath the boardwalk, which is awesome. It climbs up to 110 feet in the air and reaches speeds of 50 miles per hour. You can get some amazing views of the Atlantic Ocean and the other two piers since this coaster is located on a boardwalk. Coming in at number 8 is Grizzly at King's Dominion in Doswell, Virginia. It's hard to get off-ride footage of this ride because it goes back into the trees. This has nothing to do with the ride, but I thought it was pretty weird that you have to enter through a gift shop in order to find the entrance to the ride. It gives some decent airtime but also jerks you around. I heard this is an amazing night ride, but unfortunately I was unable to ride this coaster at night due to the park closing early. Coming in at number 7 is Judge Roy's Scream at Six Flags Over Texas. This is a classic out-and-back Woody which rides along a lake which is located at the front of the park. You can enter this coaster underneath a tunnel to get to the entrance. I thought this coaster was going to beat me up, but it didn't. It gave me some good airtime and I really enjoyed it. Coming in at number 6 is Twister at Knoebels, one of my favorite amusement parks. The ride's name definitely describes the coaster very well because you are literally twisting around every corner. I love how it does like an upwards downwards helix around the station. When you go up the first lift, you drop a little bit into a turnaround and go up a second lift. When you get to the top, you curve around, which makes you feel like you're going to fly off the tracks, and you go down the drop. You get great airtime, and I love the noise the coaster makes as you go through the tunnel at the end of the ride. Coming in at number 5 is the GCI Woody Invader at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. At first glance, this coaster didn't look so good and it didn't impress me, but I was wrong. Invader takes you down a covered drop and the airtime and G-forces were not as I expected. The coaster goes through a few tunnels, around circles around the track at decent speed, providing great airtime. The only issue I had with this ride was I thought it was a little short, but it was still fun. Now coming in at number 4 is Lightning Racer at Hershey Park. Lightning Racer is a GCI racing wooden coaster which makes the ride experience more thrilling. You can ride on either side, Thunder or Lightning. Both sides are pretty similar, but no matter which side you choose, Lightning Racer will provide you with a great ride. You climb up the lift, while one side is somewhat higher, which is very unique. At the first drop, you enter an S-curve, which gives you great floater airtime. There are moments where both tracks turn next to each other, so you really get the feel that you're racing. You go through many turnarounds, and you finally reach the finish line. You can talk shit to the other trains, or if you have friends on the other trains, which is pretty fun. Now coming in at number 3 is the CCI Woody Balderdash at Lake Compounds. Now this is a coaster that really uses the terrain to its advantage. You climb a mountain and drop 115 feet down the mountain. Most of the ride is located in the woods and you get some amazing airtime. At the end of the ride you come out of the woods and go through a series of bunny hills, including one double uphill. Now coming in at number 2 is El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure. I know for most people, this is their favorite wooden coaster, if not their favorite coaster in general. I am very lucky to have this amazing intimate monster at my home park. If you sit in the back of the train, you are literally getting whipped down the 176-foot drop at speeds of 70 miles per hour, getting some of the best ejector airtime you will ever experience on a coaster. You have so many head chopper effects, which definitely adds to the ride. My favorite part of the coaster is the airtime hill, which went over Rolling Thunder because you literally go flying out of your seat. After this hill, El Toro goes through some twists and turns before making its way to the brake run. This is definitely a coaster that every enthusiast should ride. Now, the moment has come. Time for my number 1 spot, and that would go to Phoenix at Knoebels. Now, looking at this coaster at first glance, you wouldn't expect much from it. Knoebel should really rename this ride to Airtime because that's exactly what you're going to get this entire ride. I was literally out of my seat more than I was in my seat. I rode this coaster 43 times in 2 days, and I wish I was able to get on it more. Phoenix only has buzz bars with no seatbelt, and this definitely adds to the thrill factor of the ride, and you literally feel like you're going to fly right out of your seat. My favorite part of the ride are the last few bunny hills, which provide you with amazing ejector airtime. After the coaster hits the brakes, I had the ugliest, cheesiest smile on my face every single time I got off. This is by far one of my favorite roller coasters I've ever been on, and I can't wait to visit Knoebel's next year to ride this again. So that would do it for my top 10 favorite wooden roller coasters. Feel free to comment below and let me know your favorites. Thanks for watching and peace out.